What's up, everybody? It's Tim, High Noons Vinyl. Been a minute, I know. Sorry about that. We got some important work to get to. Just got something in the mail. If you're familiar with my channel at all, you probably know what it is. But if you're just seeing me for the first time, I'm a Hendrix nut, and I just got in the Experience Hendrix Family Axis Bold as Love box set. So what this is a 5 LP and 1 Blu-ray set, which kind of commemorates the release of the second studio LP by Jimi Hendrix and the Jimi Hendrix Experience. So number 38, 28 for those playing along with the home game. So what you get here is you get 2 full-length LPs of Axis Bold as Love. You get the stereo mix and you get the mono mix, both of which have been released before, both of which were mastered by, if I remember correctly, George Marino did the mastering for the original reissue from the original tapes. Bernie Grunman has done the mastering for this. And, you know, everybody's going to have his or her faves when it comes to mastering and things like that. But with me, I'll take it all. So you get the original stereo mix, you get the original mono mix, both done by Bernie. And then you get 3 additional LPs of outtakes, additional takes, original mono, original stereo mixes that possibly didn't make the cut, and then you get some live tracks as well. As you can see, this is sealed. I have not opened it up yet. But we are going to open it up together, and we are going to take a look at this together. So I am carefully. This is actually my second one. The first one that I got in, the slip cover for the over the box, was ripped. And I said, you know what? This thing is $130-ish. Tanks, but no tanks. And I want a new one. Pardon the mess. I'm trying to clean up some of the stuff around the record room, and really I got a lot to show here in the weeks to come, so I can put them all away. Been an interesting some time. So now that we're gonna get the cellophane off, you can see that there is a slip cover right here, and where my original one was ripped was down here. And I was like, you know what, for 130 bucks, no, I want it to be mint, and this one is mint. Turns out that the number on this is a little lower as well. So, but then you get the very pretty box itself. Nothing on the spine here because obviously it's meant to be shown with the slip cover shown right here. And the paper has a very interesting, it's almost velvety texture in some of these spots, except for obviously the gold leafing or whatever. But I'm going to need to get a recommendation on box sleeves. So I pulled the records out. We will show them one by one. This is the Blu-ray. Now, I always feel that the Blu-ray is just simply the, you get the 2025 Dolby Atmos mix, you get the 67 original stereo mix, and you get the monaural mix as well. The Dolby Atmos mix was mixed by Chandler Harold and Eddie Kramer. The other 2 are in 24-bit 96 hertz uncompressed audio. So I mean, I don't have a proper surround sound or multi-channel way to listen to any of this yet. That's going to be hopefully in the coming time, as I am hopefully going to be doing some upgrades to the system. But anyway, as typical with these releases, you get this incredible booklet, unseen photos and interviews, a lot of text, things to read, just perfect for the Hendrix connoisseur in your life. You know, some very cool pictures. Trying to show you as much as I can without being boring or what have you. Like I said, this is I'm seeing all this for the first time as well. I have not watched any unboxing video if there's one out there. I didn't look at anything. Oh, that's a cool. Would you love to have that on your wall? I know I would. So you get a lot of cool liner notes, a lot of great photos. So that is the book proper. And like I said, there are 5 LPs included in this. So this is the original cover. Axis Bold as Love, as you all know. We all understand it. This is the stereo mix, replicated just like it was from back in the day. One of the things I always love about QRP is that you always get the MoFi sleeves. That's what your label looks like. So the label is a little different to commemorate the box set versus the standard. This is, I'm guessing, this would be the mono mix. And that's your cover right there. And then your mono mix label. And then this is LP3. This is the Bold as Love Sessions. Love that color picture. So on this, you get Mr. Bad Luck, She's So Fine, Burning a Midnight Lamp, Stars to Play with Laughing Sam's Dice, Burning a Midnight Lamp Again, which is instrumental. The Stars Play with Laughing Sam's Dice, which is instrumental. Stone Free Up from the Skies, that's a demo. Up from the Skies, Ain't No Telling demo, and then Take 12 of Ain't No Telling, Little Miss Lover demo, One Rainy Wish, You Got Me Floating, an untitled guitar experiment, and then Castles Made of Sand. And all those are either demos or multiple different takes. And then there's your LP3 label. LP4, which is also more of the sessions. And I'm sure a lot of these sessions have been available in bootleg form, but it's also nice to see them get a proper pressing. So with this one, you get Bold as Love, which is one of my absolute favorite Jimmy songs. Wait Till Tomorrow, Spanish Castle Magic, Little Wing, different takes. 2 more untitled instrumentals. And then there's Little Miss Lover, which is an alternate version entirely. Spanish Castle Magic, Wait Till Tomorrow, Castles Made of Sand, which is the backward guitar. One Rainy Wish, which is the ultimate version. Burning of the Midnight Lamp, the original mono mix, and the original mono's mix of the Stars That Play with Laughing Sam's Dice. And LP4. There's your label. And then LP5, like I said, a lot of live tracks. Looks to be from Sweden in, does it say? I know it says somewhere. Some of these are Sweden. Some of the one is from Top of the Pops. But again, it's just some live stuff. If I remember correctly, the Sweden concert has been out on CD before. I don't know if it was a bootleg or official, but this is LP5. Again, just love the artwork and imagery on this. You get Sgt. Pepper's, which he was playing quite a bit at that time. Fire, When Cries Mary, Foxy Lady, Hey Joe, I Don't Live Today, Burning of the Midnight Lamp, and Purple Haze. You get another rendition of Burning of the Midnight Lamp, another Foxy Lady, another Purple Haze, another Foxy Lady, and then Burning of the Midnight Lamp at Top of the Pops. And then that is the final label. So that is the box set. Now I know some people are going to, say, oh, it's just another cash grab from the Hendrix family. So what? Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't care. For the Hendrix fans that are out there that still buy this stuff, we love it. It also helps keep the Experience Hendrix Foundation, which does a lot of great work for kids and the young musicians, but also keeping record, it keeps Electric Lady open. And we talked about this in the past. So again, shut up. I don't care. Yes, I'm going to buy it. And yes, Jimi Hendrix is my be all end all. And yes, I'm going to buy everything that I possibly can, or I can get my hands on that's not ridiculously priced, as is proof. Also, if you're interested but don't want to shell out the money, is this. Now you're going to say, Tim, this is just Axis Bulbous Love. You have it. Yes, I do have it, but I didn't have it on orange vinyl. And the orange vinyl, which is a Best Buy exclusive, is also mastered by Bernie Grundman. Now, I have listened to this, and it sounds very faithful to what I would expect any other version to sound like. But I am going to A and B this, I'm going to compare this, make sure it's the same to the box set, and then also compare it to the remastering that's out there now that you can get on the shelves. Yeah, that's $25 from George Marino. Mainly because I'm interested to see what the differences are. George tends to have a little bit more punch. Bernie tends to be a little bit more level-handed with the mixing, sometimes bringing it out. But the interesting thing, at least to me, in this album is that it differs from our experience, that it wasn't just balls-out, psych screaming guitar. There's softer moments. There's what feels like a jazz element in here. He started to explore already on album 2 some of the different sounds that were in his head and how he translated them to guitar. So I think this one is an interesting one because it's not going to be totally fuzzed out. So I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to figure out a way to share those audio experiences so that you also, if you're interested, can check them out. Well, a lot of things on YouTube get blocked when you're using Jimi. So I'm working with this. But I wanted to share the first unboxing and first thoughts of this set. My first thoughts are, as always, they've done a great job with packaging everything, and everything arrived safe. And because it's in a box set, I don't see any seam blowouts, which is very nice. I was a little disheartened to see that my first one of this had a rip in it, which means it is very flimsy and fragile. I also noticed that when I was cutting the cellophane that was over it, the shrink wrap itself, this was a little bubbled. So when it compresses, it kind of, you can see it's paper thin, right? It's a slip case. But it's very compressed on it. That being said, the sleeves look great. The pictures, as always, look incredible. They do a great job with that. I was surprised a little bit at the $130 price tag. I felt for what you were getting, you would have expected to pay a little less, maybe $119, maybe $109. Some places could have it as high as $150. I get it. Vinyl's on the increase. Everything's more expensive. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Just my 2 cents. But I was going to buy it anyway. But I wanted to also share the image, especially here. And what that is, both of them are drawings from Jimi Hendrix. The box says Jimi Hendrix, age 5, Rainbow Dragon, and Rainbow Horse. And I think this is very fitting to be included on the box set. He obviously saw the world in a different hue, and it comes through in his music. And I think this just speaks to the level of creativity that was in his mind and how he saw the world just a little differently. So with that, I am going to happily go devour this music. And in a couple of days, I'm going to come back with my thoughts on the box set from an audio perspective. Did it deliver? Did it satisfy the outtakes and things like that? So if you're on the fence and you're not quite sure if you want to get it or not, or you have it and you're like, I don't know, I'm hoping to have that in the next few days. That also said, I see a huge stack of a good 30, 40 albums. I see another stack of a good 30, 40 albums. This is stuff that goes back at least a year. And I need to get my butt back in gear, because I do actually miss you guys. I try to watch, and I don't always get the comment, so I'm still lurking around out there. But I feel like I miss it, so I'm going to try my best. But this was a great way to get back in. That said, I'm going to go listen to some Hendrix. Hopefully y'all are having an amazing weekend. Holidays are coming. Take care of each other. Take care of your mental health. Try not to stress too much about the craziness that's going on. And love y'all. Peace.